All right, go ahead, Steve. You got it. Go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sunday Summary. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, Steve. Steve, I really wanted you to get that, man.
I don't do intros.
Is it weird being on the left with all this power now that you can pin, you can invite me, I don't have to invite you anymore? I mean, God, don't let it go to your
Dude,
head.
I could end this stream right now.
You could kick me out. Could you actually?
I could end it. I don't think I could kick you out, but yeah, I mean, I would just end the whole thing.
That's just crazy, man.
I can demolish the stream at any point. So just remember, I have the power. You're right. I have the
God,
power now.
took 187 episodes.
And we got it right. This is
Finally
187.
got it right. 187.
Wow. It seems
Almost
like
it.
we should it seems like we should be higher than that.
Doesn't it?
Well, I guess there's, we'll call it 52 Sundays roughly in a year. I
Right.
guess.
I mean, well, there's exactly 52. Yes.
Well, I would imagine if the year starts on a certain day, there may not be 52 Sundays. There could be 51.
Yeah, you might be right.
I might be right.
You got a lot of power now. So
If Sunday falls on the 31st, then I don't know.
oh yeah, don't go
That's
down that
interesting
rabbit hole.
math.
Yeah, math is, sometimes hard.
No, it's always hard. But I
Yeah.
know mathematically, I can say this. Let's just start with this, people. Mathematically, we have nothing to play for.
Are we legit out now? Officially? We can't win?
No, we can't.
Really? If
No,
Arsenal
we
lose,
could. No, we could. But it would take a collapse like we just had from two teams that are playing at a very, very high level. So the chances are less than 0.1, probably.
yeah, I'm with you on that. Dude, did you see at Haaland now all of a sudden is the greatest striker ever again?
What did he do? Because I didn't see. I saw the result, but
I think he had a hat trick.
mm,
But he's been playing so average, everyone's just kind of like, oh, Haaland, he's playing like a championship player, yada, yada, yada. As soon as he has a good game again, it's like, he's back. He's the best ever.
I mean,
he's got 36 goals, which is pretty insane.
He's been so bad recently. Not even average, Kyle. You're giving him too much credit. He's been so bad, people just stopped caring because all people care about is what, recent form. So the fact that he put in a hat trick, now he's going to be on the headlines. Their best player this year has been Phil Foden.
Phil Foden's nasty. I don't care what anyone says, man. He passes the eye test with flying colors. He's a good player.
He is. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him because eventually he's young. Eventually Pep's going to leave. De Bruyne is getting older. Haaland's probably going to end up at Madrid, I would imagine, at some point.
Yeah, but with Mbappe, unless Mbappe stays, but I don't know. I mean, he plays left wing, right? Mbappe doesn't play through the middle.
It depends. He just does whatever he wants. If you watch PSG play, they play against like legit farmers, dude, taxi drivers. He can do whatever he wants on the pitch. He can score at any time that he wants. There is no quality in that league. So he plays anywhere is what I'm getting at. But if he was on the same pitch as Haaland, he'd probably play on the left. Or they could do like two up front.
That would be a nasty lineup. Mbappe, Haaland, whoever plays on the right.
It would be Junior.
Junior would have to play on the right. No, you could play Mbappe on the right. That's the thing. Vinicius, Mbappe, Haaland. Oh, that is
Disgusting.
An amazing front three.
Absurd. And
it's not even fair.
No, it's not. And they have so many assets that they could definitely make it work. Like they'd probably have to sell off Rodrigo at that point. He plays on the right for them quite a bit.
We've been linked with Rodrigo a good amount.
I want Valverde. I've been saying that for a while.
Yeah, we've also been linked with Valverde. I like Valverde as well. Guys, let us know in the chat who you'd want to come this summer with Arne Slot at the wheel. Shout out to Oh Boy Not Him, Liz, Shayna, Doug, Michelin, Mom, Daniela Salty, Doug. Did I say Doug? Dermot, Oyvind. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Those Valverde rumors haven't died either, by the way. There's still, like, if you go on Transfermarkt and click on rumors, he's still there.
Let's bring them up. It literally, I typed in Valverde, Steve. The top thing is Valverde to Liverpool.
I mean,
Hey Steve, let's let's in the future when you pull up a transfer rumor, share your screen.
yeah, maybe I could do that.
But
Also, happy Orthodox Easter to those that celebrate that.
happy Orthodox Easter to
Uh,
everyone.
in North America, it's also Cinco de Mayo, at least in the U.S. and Canada, because in Mexico they don't really celebrate that. They actually celebrate the victory for the Battle of Puebla, which is when the French invaded Mexico in 1862. Rumor has it Mexico had 2,000 troops, and they became victorious over 6,000 French invaders
Oh, like a
in
modern
the
day
town of
300.
Puebla. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So that's what they celebrate down there. Cinco de Mayo is kind of like an Americanized holiday to just celebrate Mexican heritage in general. And yeah, so there's your history lesson for the day, folks.
Shout out to Steve. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah,
The Battle
yeah,
of Puebla, you said?
yeah.
Interesting. 2,000 against 6,000.
I mean, that's what the internet tells me, but it was a lot against a little, and
Well,
they came out on top.
the internet's always right. Let's
That's
be honest.
absolutely correct. Yeah.
All right, let's bring up this again here. So, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea have reportedly inquired about Valverde, refusing to rule out a future move away from, but no plans to leave while he's still a key member of Carlo Ancelotti's starting lineup. There you go. That tells me all I need to know. This is from April 5th. This is when I remember seeing it. 129 million pounds, apparently. I just don't buy that, man.
I mean, we put an offer in for Casado for what, 115?
Wow, 110, 150, or 110, and it was accepted.
Valverde is and was at the time twice the player Casado is. Now they're different players. But I think we're going to talk about some transfer rumors today, potential needs in the lineup.
Yeah, and if we look at wingers, the big one that I've seen recently is Kudus. Kudos. I don't know how to say is it Kudus? Someone tell me.
It's Kudus.
Kudus. Okay. So you can see it, everywhere. Liverpool target Kudus does have a release clause. He just got to West Ham though. Um, it's just one of those things where it's almost like let's go to the transfer mark thing and we'll see what his percentage of moving is. That's just one of those things where it's like is it that he leaves. You know?
Well, Moyes is leaving. So maybe that
Fair.
has something to do with it. Click on rumors there.
Wow,
I also
the
saw us
cookies on
linked
this
to
site
Bowen.
just Oh, we've been linked to Bowen since Nam.
Yeah, no, seriously.
All right. Literally. I mean, like Bowen, all right, the cookies on this site are just destroying this stream quality. All right, hold on. I got to get out of here. Can't do it. Steve, try it out for me while I go over and we'll go over to Liz. Thank you very much for gifting the super chat. Not super chat. This is a membership. Love you, Liz. Shout out to Liz. Able to make was it the banana bread, Liz, for the first time? That's awesome. In your recovery, keep it up.
Well, there's no
What do
rumors
we
for
got?
Mohamed Kudus. So
You're not seeing. I don't know about that.
none.
See,
I'm looking at it.
I don't know.
There's nothing.
Okay. Well, you're wrong, but it's okay. We'll go with it. The
50
Cuba.
million market value.
Is it Cuba? Cuba? Koba, maybe. He's he plays for Sociedad. Is it Sociedad? Dude, I completely got this guy's name wrong. Guys, help me, remind me, what's this the Japanese international? It's either Japanese or Korea.
Oh, Kubo? The guy that was at
Kubo.
Madrid?
Yes.
He was at Madrid. I think he's in Germany
Kubo.
right now.
There we go.
Maybe he's in Spain.
No. You're
Yeah.
probably right. Kubo to Liverpool. This is the one I've been seeing. Takafusa Kubo already gave Liverpool verdict and named two favorite players amid transfer leaks. This is one day ago. It looks like he's at Sociedad. Yeah. All right. So this is the main one I've been looking at. And then, of course, Kudos, which apparently there's nothing, which that's not what I saw. But Go ahead. Read it out, Steve.
Dermot, let's just address the elephant in the room. We haven't talked about this, but I think we should. Dermot says, still can't believe how just over 2 weeks ago we were favorites for the league. City and Arsenal played in Europe too and kept up their form where we totally imploded. Even money favorites 2 weeks. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We were heavy favorites, I might add, not just favorites. And it was ours to lose. If we just did our job the way we're supposed to do, we'd be literally getting ready for a parade right now. Or maybe next week, lining up the parade. But we
just imploded. We bottled it. You can just say it because that's what happened.
Yeah, I think because everybody is saying we overachieved this year, it kind of takes, for most people, it's taking the bottling mindset or narrative out of the equation. But
That's just a
I do
justification.
understand how people can say that we overachieved, but at the end of the day, regardless, we were in a position to win the league. It was in our hands, and we just fell off a cliff. So call it bottled, call it whatever you want.
Bottled.
We just blew it. Yeah, completely.
We absolutely blew it.
Yeah. Now the lead wasn't as big as Arsenal's was. We also weren't at the top of the table for as long as they were. That's why Arsenal are known as like legitimate bottlers from last season. But I don't know if bottled's the right word. We can say it if we want, but we folded under pressure. I would have liked us to see, or I would have liked to see us at least fight until the final day. Instead, they just took themselves out of the race in a span of 10 or 14 days, and that's it. That's literally it. It's over. Nothing to play for at all other than the badge. I guess you can play for Jurgen and the supporters, which is what you should be doing anyways.
I was about to say, yeah.
So there's not much to play for, guys. Hopefully we can get through these last few games with no major ACL injuries, things of that nature. Get some good results, but it's...
Justin says we didn't bottle it. Jesus. Yeah, no, I'm trying to go to transfer marks, but it is just screwing up the stream, unfortunately. And that's the best site to go to. But Dustin says we didn't bottle it or overachieve, just too many casualties. I don't know. I don't think we can blame it on that, Dustin. I really don't. Really don't. It doesn't come down to injuries. I think it just comes down to us literally blowing it. Ever since the Man United, the Kwanzaa mistake, we've been playing like dog shit. We had a win, a couple wins in there against Sheffield and Fulham and Brighton, maybe. I don't know. But just not good enough.
This is interesting here because this is something I was thinking about yesterday. Guys coming back from injury killed our momentum instead of adding to it. Europa League exit was a bigger disappointment. The Europa League exit was definitely tough, but at the end of the day, it's more important to win the league, right? So, like, even if we were still fighting for the title, we'd forget about the Europa League. But Jota, Trent, all these guys, Jones, all these guys coming back from injury, you're right. It was supposed to make us better, and we were on top of the league at that point, and it didn't. It didn't, because we're still conceding first. And that's the big thing is once you get behind in a match, you have to play near perfect to score two. Like, goals don't just happen, especially with us lately. No luck. When you're not clinical and you start from behind every match, it's a recipe for disaster. But yeah, these guys coming back from injury should have added to our quality. And I got no problem with like Jota, how he's played, not even Trent necessarily. It's just when they came back, everyone else seemed to kind of dip off, with the exception of Alexis McAllister. Shout out to him. Been rock solid.
I just have so many thoughts going through my head right now pertaining to our performance over the last few weeks, dude. And really none of them are positive. So, Steve, what's your take on Somerville, the winger we're being linked with from Leeds?
Well, first of all, he plays on the left. So are we planning on selling 5 players? Because he's not going to play.
What are you talking? 5 players. We
You
basically
got
have one
Gakpo,
true winger.
Nunez, Jota, Diaz, all can play on the left.
Yeah.
Where's this guy gonna? What's he gonna do? Play for the U21s?
Probably.
He's not playing. He's not gonna play.
Loan him out, man. Send him to
Seriously,
Hull.
what are we gonna do
for
with this guy?
Blackburn.
Look for somebody on the right. Look for somebody on the right side.
Yeah, we don't
Who knows
buy
what's gonna happen with
anybody
Salah?
for the right. Can
Yeah, we
get
just buy
someone?
players who can play on the right. And then we have to jump on Sunday summaries and talk about who's going to play on the right. Is it going to be Harvey Elliott? Is it going to be Jota? Can Nunez play on the right? Yeah, he played 3 games on the right in his last club. You know what I mean? Get somebody for the damn
Nunez
right.
Can't even hit the back of the net, dude. I watched a compilation the other day. It was called Nunez versus the Post, and it was a 6-minute video.
I never want to put the blame on one person because it's obviously not Nunez's fault that we lost the league. But if he was even 10% more clinical, we win the league. 10%, Kyle.
Dude, it's unreal.
No, seriously.
Unreal.
If Diaz was more clinical, well, we don't expect any of that from Diaz, but I do expect it from Darwin.
Diaz has the worst conversion rate of anyone on the team.
Right.
Hold on a second. I really want to pull this up because this is like concerning. We keep getting off track with the transfers, but it's like there's nothing concrete yet, and we're not going to sign anyone during this transition period where Klopp is getting ready to leave, and I almost said Koba. Arne Slot is coming in, right? We're going to wait for the summer. I also heard that Michael Edwards is really taking the reins on this one, bro. Michael Edwards is just like, I've been shut down too many times. Everyone stand back. I'm doing this. That's legitimately what I'm reading. That he is going to handle most of the transfers.
Cool. Do it. Do something. But we're going to talk about what we need today for sure. Dermot says we have to have a nothing but Reds meetup next season. Steven buys the first round. Happy to do that. But yeah, Kyle and I are going to have to get to a game at Anfield next season. The planning process for that, it's in the works.
It is in the works.
We have a couple of inside guys that we need to connect with and find a good time for us to come over there. And I don't know who in here, if anyone, is even in that area. Is there anyone in here that like lives in Liverpool or close to it?
Tony?
Who's in England? Let's start there.
What?
We got people from all over the place. I said, who's in England? Who in here is in England?
Oh, yeah. True. Darwin Nunez against Post. This one is just a short, but oh, dude, I want to watch one of these.
Aylor says, yeah, Nunez won the Newcastle game alone, back off. He absolutely did. And that's the highlight of his Liverpool career so far. He's done almost nothing since. I mean, no, that's not true. He's had some good goals and some decent performances, and he's always in the right place. But I can't think of anything memorable since then. Maybe the curler in the Europa League. I think he had a curler in the Europa League where he cut back off the left side of the box there.
He had a curler against Bournemouth.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
League Cup. It was nice. Absolutely.
That might be the one I'm thinking of.
No, but dude, like
Tom Smith. I live in Liverpool.
Hold on. We're just gonna take a minute. Guys, because this is great. I just want to do it for you guys because I care about you guys. Tom lives 4 miles from Anfield. Okay. We got a lot of people in here, so when we come over, we're gonna have to meet up with everybody, man. All right. But forget how many times he's actually hit the Nike trainer. Like he's legitimately, I can think of there was a time where he got around the keeper, had an open net, and then hit the post. It better be in here. This is the one right here. How do you miss that? How do you miss that, Darwin? Post. 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 Well, we're back at Benfica now, but you get the idea. That's not even the video I saw. The video I saw was everything from this season.
I think he had 2 or 3 against Chelsea in that one game.
Oh, yeah, I think it was 4. He set the record, like 4.
Yeah.
Hits the post 4 times. It's kind of impressive. You could argue, if you're in two minds, you could argue he is very clinical. In fact, he's the most accurate player in the world. I mean, if
Does
you
the
really
post
want
count as a shot on target?
No, I don't think so. That's a good question, but I don't think it does. No.
Doug would know if Doug's in here. Doug,
It
let us know.
definitely doesn't. It's definitely a stat, though. Hit the woodwork is a stat. Oh, man. So, yeah, people are starting to talk about the new kits. So we've tried to talk about the transfers, guys. We really have. It's just not working out. We've tried to get into it like 3 times.
I just don't think there's anything really concrete.
There's nothing concrete. There's people we're being linked with. Somerville, Kuba, whatever. What's his name?
Kubo.
That's what it is. Kubo. Okay. I keep thinking Koba from Planet of the Apes. Koba. R.I.P. But yeah, there's nothing concrete. Somerville, we really like them. But the new kit, Steve, have you seen them?
I have.
Trash.
Garbage. I'm not in love with it, but I don't hate it either. I like the stripes.
The stripes, they spell out "You'll never walk alone." That's cool, I guess. But, dude, come on, man. Like, we always go back to this, right? We've every few years we go back to like a gold like badge, or yet we put yellow in the home kit. I don't like that. I don't like anything yellow in the home kit. Why do we do that?
I'm sure there's a reason for it. Well, it's usually a twist off of older kits to some extent.
Oh, of course. I mean, I like bringing it back, to oh god, I remember when this thing dropped. Hold on, let me share my screen with you guys. I ended up. It's not a shot on target, Liz. Okay, yeah. Adidas back in a year. I did see that. We're signing in 25-26. We're back with Adidas. That's going to be badass, dude. I think Adidas kits look cool. I like Nike too. Don't get me wrong. And honestly, I think New Balance had some good moments as well. But I just want to we'll pull these kits up real quick. I remember when this kit dropped, dude. The Sadio Mane kit, not the Sadio Mane kit, but the one with the. I thought this was the worst looking kit ever, and it ended up being kind of okay.
I love that kit. That's my favorite.
I
have the Harvey Elliott original number kit.
Oh, come on. You
19.
cannot say that's your favorite, dude.
I think it's my favorite. I love that
Why?
kit. The what did Doug called it something a couple years ago? Crimson, I think he called it. They're like lightning bolts almost. They're not straight.
I know, but it's no, come on. You really
I love that kit.
Okay, fair enough. This is the cool thing about coming out with a new jersey every year. You get to have these debates. See, Oyvind, this is where I disagree with you. I love having green in the home kit. Anything that's on our badge, put it in the home kit, right? Which is kind of where I go against my own argument, because we kind of have flames, which would, allow yellow to be there. But anyways, let's look at this new kit, okay? The one on the left, why can't I just get a normal picture? Just give me a new kit, please. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. All right, come on, load, baby. Load for me. All right, here we go. So you can see the "You'll Never Walk Alone," kind of blocky, but if you look hard enough, you can see it. This has kind of been that branding that Nike has gone with recently. You can see it. I'm trying to remember in the sleeves, like the end of the sleeves. the cuffs on the sleeve from 2 seasons ago, you could see it written in there. So the "You'll Never Walk Alone," I like how they're incorporating that into the kit. I do not like how it's like yellow. If they made it more faint and more transparent, I think it would look good. Maybe it does on the players. Let me go to the Liverpool website and see.
Yeah, it always looks different in different lighting, and
Yeah. Because I just don't think that looks good. The collar, it looks like they ran out of money and they're like, "All right, we
that's
just gotta
something that
cut
they're
it off."
doing with kits, though. That's just like that's a style. That
I
collar.
hate it. It looks like he's wearing a backpack. Like he's
Yeah, no,
got
I
2
don't like it
straps
either, but
on.
I've seen it. I've seen it
Yeah.
before.
I know Adidas for a while had that. A couple years ago, they had that style. It was virtually the same thing. And, I don't know, I just didn't like it, but that's just me. I like a standard collar. The V-neck is a stretch even, and this is just like a way worse V-neck. It's like they wanted the benefit of the V-neck without the V. They made it like a Villanova V almost. So, anyways, what was I pulling up again? Oh yeah, Liverpool new kit launch. Because it's retro. It's obviously retro. Here we go. Stop sharing this. Let's go over to the chat. What do people say? Uh Shane is not a fan. Doug says the collar is just mad. To be fair, other than Jordan Welch. Oh, we're going back to Holland. Oh boy, not him says that was one of the ugliest kits. Which one are you talking about?
He's
I
talking about
think
the
he's
one
talking.
that I mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. I agree with him wholeheartedly. But you like what you like. Um, Here we go. Liverpool unveils new kit. I do not want push notifications. See, on Van Dyke here, you can see it's very faint. Right? I'll zoom in so you guys can see
And it
here.
looks a lot more red than like
Yes,
maroon.
I agree. Now, one thing I do like about the collar is it's red and yellow in the collar. I just don't like how thick the collar is, man. It looks like it rides all the way up the neck.
Hmm. I will not be buying this.
No, no, no. No chance. You
What
think
what are the
Nike.
rumored away kits? Weren't they white and blue again? Or white and black?
I don't. These they just don't look happy to be wearing this kit.
The
Oh, Steve, hold on. Before we go to that, just can you give me a rating for these kits?
these kits 5 out of 10.
Oh, I'm gonna give them a 4. I don't like them at all. I think they'd be better if the Nike and Liverbird were white. I can't stand the yellow.
Is this going to be the collar on all the kits?
God, I hope not. It probably is though. It probably is, unless they
I
do like
saw.
a very unique third kit. But just by the way, guys, Liverpool are reducing waste 10% every season in partnering with SC Johnson. Just so you know,
A family company.
a family company. Okay. What are we looking for? Liverpool new kits away.
Yeah, like lately I've been buying like the third kits.
Okay, 45, 45, 25. Let's do. This actually looks kind of badass if this is what it is.
I think the third kit's supposed to be black.
Hold on. This dude, if this is it, it's clean. Whew. Steve,
Yeah,
that's
that
pretty
would be
clean.
if that's it. That's the one I'm getting.
Now, what I don't want them to do is give us like white shorts
No,
where
they
they
will not
have
do
the
that.
top is one color, the bottom's a different. I have a feeling they're going to do like white shorts with this.
You know what else I've also been meaning to do? Speaking of kits, is I've been meaning to get like an Allison kit. Like the
Yeah.
goalkeeper kits are kind of sick sometimes,
No, I agree
and
100%.
nobody has them, so it's unique. Like when I go out to the Liverpool Supporters Club here in Boston, nobody's got a keeper kit on. So that would be kind of cool, I think.
LFC Aaron says, "Isn't this the kit from a few seasons ago?"
Similar, but
No,
no.
it's similar. Yeah, so this one is very similar. That in my opinion, that was one of the best. It's the green one, the one that Darwin hit the post in that video. Here's a nice edit to show McAllister in it. I could see that doesn't look like a black. That looks like a dark green, doesn't it?
That's nice. I could see that.
That's a nice
That's a
kit.
Champions League winning kit right there.
Hell yeah.
That's what it
Hell
looks
yeah,
like.
Steve. Where you been, Steve?
I'm here,
Where's the
man.
positivity
Oh, I have
been,
the purple
Steve?
one. The purple one that Darwin has, that's the one that I have from this year.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I got
I
the
mean,
Virgil.
it's a very unique kit. This one, just get out of here. Just stop.
See that one up top there? On the right? Top right.
This
Red with
this one?
stripes. Yeah, I feel like that should have been the kit.
But dude, even then, like look at the white versus the yellow. Just make everything white.
Well, something like that. Something like that with a better collar. Like that's a nice collar.
Remember they leaked this and everyone was like losing their shit, and I agree because this swoosh, what are you doing?
All they had to do is change the swoosh and it would have been fine, I think.
It's all they had to do. Change the swoosh. That's a pretty badass kit. Like this is clean. Just change the swoosh. That might be it. Gomez, dude, Gomez is about to break out laughing because of this kit.
It looks like they're in like ancient Rome.
Look, he says,
In those
"Don't make me
pillars.
do this. Don't make me do this."
He's like, come on.
It looks like they're in ancient Rome.
Yeah, seriously, with the clothes and everything, like
Look at
Milan
this.
or
This is
something.
one of the pillars of the Parthenon. What's it called? God.
The Pantheon.
Is that what it's called? The Pantheon?
I believe so. I went to it, so I think that's what it is.
Yeah. That sounds right. There's like the three different styles of God, I sound so uneducated right now, but I know what they are. But yeah, there's your new kits, guys. Let us know what you think in the chat. Dermot says, I don't like the new home kits. Look old style, hate gold, yellow, roller collar, does not look comfortable. Does someone actually get paid to design them? 100% someone gets paid to design them. And in fact, they're probably rewarded for
Well, they
those
work
kinds
with the
of-
club too. It's
Yeah.
not like some random team for Nike just designing these and going, okay, here you go. Like
Yeah.
this is a well thought out process. Somebody approved
Right.
this on the Liverpool side. So at the end of the day, we'll get used to it. Just
Yeah,
like with
we
every
always
other
will.
home kit, you'll see it. You'll see it 50 times next year, and it's fine.
And
But
honestly, at the end of the day, the red drowns out all the other details when you're watching the players on the pitch. You're kind of just like, all right, it's red, fine. Okay. And also, sometimes they'll do a glossy finish with the red. Like the kit you have, Steve, it's very glossy. And then sometimes they'll have a very matte look to it, like the I think it was the 1819. No, 1920 kits, the red with the pinstripes. Those were just like a matte red. So it always looks different on the pitch, which again is always the justification if you don't like the kits. Ross says it's inspired by Rome Champions League winning kit. Oh my God. Okay.
yeah, it is.
So that's why they look like they're in Rome.
Well, that was the headline of the launch, Kyle. How much did you follow the launch?
I didn't at all. I looked at the picture and I said, oh my God, I can't follow this launch.
In other news, Tottenham have lost 3 in a row. Newcastle scraped them 4-0. Then they lost 3-2 to Arsenal. Then Chelsea beat them 2-0.
All at home?
I have no idea. The last 3 games they've lost. I'm just looking at a little bit of a preview here, and they're not in good form. And we're home. Is this his last home game?
It's got to be, right?
I don't know.
Hold on, I'm
I
looking at
thought I knew.
Tottenham's. Dude, what the hell? They lied to me. I did a quick match facts thing. Oh my God, that's crazy. They got all those wrong.
Oh no. Wolves. Last game of the year.
Yeah, Wolves and no. They play Man City.
Who does?
Tottenham.
No, I'm talking about us.
Oh.
This isn't. I was thinking about Klopp's last game at Anfield. It's Wolves,
We've
not
played
today.
Wolves like 5 times on the last day of the year.
Yeah,
Kind
so
of
it's
insane.
Tottenham. I think Villa, then Wolves to close out the year. All kind of tough, but again, it doesn't matter. It just absolutely doesn't matter. You know what's crazy?
What?
Like Villa, they're like not that far behind us.
No, they're not.
Like if
But
we
they're not.
continue this debacle, we could finish fourth.
We'll secure third. We'll secure third. We're gonna secure third.
Yeah, I think so too. Obviously, I'm just saying. We went from sitting at the top. We're 8 points back, Kyle, with the
Because
game
we
in hand.
bottled it. It's because we bottled it, man. All right, Liverpool versus Tottenham. Here we go. Pulling it up now. Oh, Lord have mercy. Liverpool are heavy favorites for this one.
I don't know why.
Yeah, no, we're heavy. Well, yeah, 67%. Yeah, I'm looking at the table now. Villa, who's Villa playing right now?
No idea.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Arsenal, top of the league. I think Arsenal are going to win it, dude. I really do. Actually, Man City could go top again. But it's just crazy how far back we find ourselves. You know, you're right. I look at it now. You're 8 points back at the top of the table. We were just even. You know, Villa are pretty far behind, dude. They're 7 points behind.
I know. I'm just saying.
How about Chelsea catching fire late in the season?
Who are they beating right now?
West Ham.
Mm.
Interesting. Let's go to trending here for the match. Oh no, that's other stuff. Is this all I get for stats? Trash. So yeah, we're playing at Anfield, bro. You have a predicted starting 11. Van Dijk's out. He only trained on Friday, I believe.
I have no idea who's starting, who's fit. I've been unplugged, to be quite honest.
Once we kind of bottled it, you were just like, eh.
There's no wind left in my sails, Kyle. You know how difficult it is, and everyone in this chat knows how time consuming it is to follow the club. When you get a chance for a break, a good or bad break, sometimes it's welcomed.
Steve, listen, I know you got no wind left in your sails, but you got to break out that paddle, buddy. You got to break out that paddle
and just row.
And you got to start rowing.
I didn't even know Van Dijk was out.
Well, I mean, there's a chance he could play, but he only trained on Friday, and it was a partial team training.
He needs to play. I don't care. He needs to play. He's the captain. He needs to play. If he doesn't play, I mean, sure, he hasn't been in great form necessarily, but I think that greatly reduces our chances of winning.
Stellar says, I'm with Steve. It's been such an unbothered attitude by our players as of late. I'm telling you, we were battling. We were battling until, and I know, is it Dermot here that says it? No, Jordan. Jordan says it was the FA Cup exit that was bad. So there was the FA Cup exit, right? But then we played United in the league, and we drew late. Like Kwanzaa's back pass. To me, that was the start of it. Because that match, we weren't playing bad. As soon as the back pass happened, you felt the momentum change. And ever since that point, it's been the exact same feeling. Just dead energy. Nobody wanting to go and get the winner. It's just been a tragedy to see this team just collapse at the end of the season with Klopp on his way out. It's an absolute tragedy, Steve.
I think it started. The thing is, with Man United, regardless of their form, they're still a huge rival, and they're still tough to beat for us. We've destroyed them many times, and we have their number lately. But at the end of the day, it's like Everton. It's always going to be a tough match, or there's always at least a chance for it to be a tough match. So getting bounced out of the FA Cup, that hurt for sure. But I'm not necessarily overly surprised by it. These things can happen, and I don't know if that was the start of it. But shortly it could be, because shortly thereafter we beat Brighton 2-1, and it was a sketchy win. Same thing for Sheffield, sketchy win, 3-1, but
But
it
they were like
wasn't
late
that
goals.
pretty. Yeah, it
Right.
wasn't that pretty.
Yeah.
Then you have the draw with Man United. Again, another one that doesn't surprise me too much.
That
Like,
surprised me.
because
See,
it's Man United.
well, that I get, but when you think about like back to the game and watching it, you feel like up until that back pass, we had it. We had that game. We
Yeah,
did.
typically, but it's at Old Trafford. Like,
I
a
know,
draw at
but
Old Trafford is, I feel like it's not really something to look too deep into.
no, I'm looking deep into you're right. I couldn't agree more. But I'm looking deep into the fact that as soon as Kwanzaa did that back pass, the team just died. Right? Man United saw this gap and they saw this opportunity and they just took it. Ever since that moment, that dead energy, it's carried into every single game. The Europa League, every Premier League game, every single game has had that energy. And so I feel like that point, the team just looked at each other like, look, this was our chance. For some reason, they looked at it this way. This was our chance and we blew it. I don't know if it was just such a like how often do we make mistakes like that? You've seen him, but how often? I mean, I don't hold anything against Kwanzaa. I think he's been phenomenal. You had a mistake, it was a poor back pass, and they scored, right? That happens all the time. But I just don't like how the team responded to that. And I think that's the reason for this downfall. That energy that the team just kind of let come in, they didn't block it out. They weren't mentally strong. They've played the same exact way they played for the last 30 minutes of that United match. They've played every single way since then.
Well, for me, the start of the downfall, because look, the FA Cup, things can happen in cup games. You rotate, there's extra time. A lot of things can happen. Again, it's United. But then we won our next two Premier League games. Then we drew with United, which under normal circumstances at Old Trafford is like kind of okay. We don't
No,
love it, but it's
no,
kind of
that's the
okay.
back pass game.
Right. However, it was the 3-0 to Atalanta that I think did it, that started the ball rolling downhill. Because I bet a lot of these players are thinking to themselves, okay, we're out of the FA Cup, but at least we still have the Europa League. We should be able to win the Europa League. And we're still sitting at the top, or at the time, maybe tied
Yeah.
for first or second in the league. And then when you get crushed by Atalanta at home, that took the wind out of the sails and deflated them completely. Because after that, they lost to Crystal Palace. Then we barely scraped. I mean, we beat Atalanta, but 1-0. Then we beat
It was a
Fulham, which
penalty.
you should win. Then we lost to Everton. Then we drew with West Ham.
The loss to Everton was oh my god. That to me, it's one thing to draw at Goodison. Happens all the time. I feel like we draw a lot there. We struggle to score. 2-0 to Everton. To me, that's not acceptable. You are so much better than Everton, guys. So much better than Everton. And you got shut out.
Shutout is the big part. Like, again, even a draw with Everton. Like, we've seen that so many times.
So
You know
many
what I
times.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's in the loss to Crystal Palace. It's not like some of these results are. Let me backtrack, because sometimes I think to myself, if you go for it, we've talked about this a lot, the mathematical equations, the
Yeah.
complex mathematical equations. If you go for it all and you lose, well, maybe it's better than a draw if you do that a handful of times and you get a win out of it.
Right.
Because sometimes I feel like we've settled for draws in years past. But in these games, we're just getting outright beat. We can't even say, oh, it was this missed call like we could earlier in the year. We're playing awful and losing. These teams are deserving of the 3 points that are beating us. And that's what hurts the most.
Yes. Couldn't agree more. And that is unlike Liverpool. Right? We're getting destroyed. Right? Atalanta and Everton were two of the games that I really just looked at. I was like, this is disgusting. And yeah, that's just what I have to say about that. Oh boy says this Everton, they are shit. Didn't see players fight for the badge. I saw Liz say that as well. And Liverpool have been one of the teams in Europe with the less recovery time between matches. They are not robots. You guys have heard me talk about this before. And look, I want to give Klopp credit because, Klopp has always been one to talk about this, the rest time and everything. Yeah, you can look at it that way, right? Players have less rest time. Okay.
No, the lowest.
The lowest. Look,
the stat came out recently.
The lowest.
The lowest amount of time.
Lowest rest time. Couple that with the intensity that Liverpool play at. Yes, you can. We have injuries, and I can get blaming the injuries on that. That's one thing, but guys, we're still a great team with injuries or not. We're I'm just this is what I feel like. I feel like you can blame random losses throughout the year or random poor results on injuries. But this little period of time, losing to Everton, losing to Atalanta, drawing with Crystal Palace, losing to them, you can't look at injuries for that because that's when all of our players came back. So this period of time where we actually bottled the league, I can't put it on injuries, dude.
I'm with Aylor on this. I agree with this. And I don't like to use excuses or anything like that. And I don't think it's the injuries he's getting at. I think it's the fatigue side of things. It's not the fact that players are out. We've won matches without Salah. We've won plenty of matches without Jota, without Trent.
That's my point.
So I don't think it's the injuries. I think it's the fatigue. These guys look tired. When you say, oh, where's the effort? I just don't think there's any gas left in the tank.
That's just not, it cannot be the excuse though. And the reason
no, they're not saying that. Like Liverpool's not coming out and saying, oh, we are exhausted. We're sorry. They're giving
no.
But as supporters, we can look at it and say, this looks different. And there's a reason why. And if they're on the pitch, it's probably not because of an injury. Maybe they have a knock or something lingering. I think it's fatigue. There's a reason why it's happened at the end of the season. And
maybe that's a good point.
We have less recovery time than these other teams. Again, not about injuries, just about rest.
Mm-hmm.
And like Everton, what are they fighting for? They got nothing. They play one game a week.
They're fighting against their next charge. They're like, look, we got to get as high as we can up the table before we get another charge.
Right. Same thing with Crystal Palace. They got nothing to play for. They pour everything they have into these matches. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, let's just say you're someone that travels a lot, right? You go on vacation all over the world. You're gone like twice a month.
You get tired. I know.
Then you link up with somebody that gets one vacation a year, and they are so excited about it and so much energy, and they've planned it all out. But you're like, oh damn, another trip. Here we go. You know,
Steve, I know what you're getting at. But let me just present you with the devil's advocate argument of there being two minds to this. Okay, you have players that are professional athletes that do this all year, literally all year. Okay. You look at last season, and we were using the same argument. These players are tired. They're playing too much. So what do? We completely refresh the midfield. We get young players and literally young-ass players. Szoboszlai is like 23. You at primed athletes, top of their trade. And we're still having the same thing. So I can't look at it at this point in time and say, look, we're just too tired, because every team has to deal with it. All right.
That's what I'm saying. That's not true. Szoboszlai has never played at the intensity or the amount of games that he's played at here. Same thing with Diaz. But I will say this. If I look at our lineup, the players that don't look tired to me are McAllister and Diaz and Nunez. Those guys look like they could go forever. McAllister sometimes, because he's an absolute workhorse.
I'm with you 100%.
But Diaz and Nunez, they're built for this. But you even look at Virgil. You look at Konate, half a step slower.
Dude, Virgil's always half a step slow.
They're just a little bit off. Endo looks tired. Even though he's been injured. Maybe that's part of it too. But it's not an excuse, and I'm not saying, oh, we lost the league because of that, but it's just
It's a factor.
it's
It's a
common
factor.
sense that you can't keep. Look, in years past, we have kept up the top level until the very end. We fought to the final day many times. This year, I think it may have just gotten the best of us because these guys
So
aren't getting any younger. You look at Salah, yeah, he's fit, but he's getting older.
so then here's my question then. You look at the other top teams, the Man Cities, the Arsenals, who play in the same amount, if not more, competitions. Yeah, granted, they might have more rest time between games and less travel, all that stuff, or less early kickoffs. Why are they still performing then?
They don't play at the same level of intensity, and
Okay.
their main players are younger. Salah, Virgil, not young. Robertson's not young. Endo's not young.
When have you ever seen Robertson tired, though?
No, I'm just saying. I haven't really seen him tired, but he hasn't looked as electric this year as he has in the past.
I agree with everything everyone's saying. I am just not the type of fan to look at that and say that's the reason why. Because these guys are professional athletes. You're getting paid to endure all of this. Okay. So, regardless, you need to just suck it up and do it. Now, it's one thing you can see the fatigue, right? Like you're saying, we can see the fatigue. That's a different story. And then you can start saying, well, the reason we're seeing this fatigue is because of X, Y, and Z. I just I don't think you can use that as an excuse. As a fan, you can bring it up, but as a player, you just got to play, dude. You got to sleep more, you got to eat right, you got to get all your recovery in. Whatever you have to do to play at the top level, you have to do because it's exhausting. You're playing literally 12 months out of the year if you take into account international play. I don't think you have assumed this responsibility to play at this level. Soboslai knew what he was getting into. Everyone knows when you make that jump, right, from a team in Germany that's playing in. You get what I'm saying. If you make the jump to the Premier League, you know you're going to be playing at a higher intensity, more frequent games, and if you go to a top club, you're going to be playing in more competitions. You know all this going in, so you have to prepare accordingly. So to me, I don't have any sympathy for the players. It's more so like get your ass up and adjust. I don't want to look at and say, oh, they're fatigued. You're a professional athlete. Why are none of these other guys fatigued?
Well, I don't have sympathy for them. Let me just be clear on that. I have no sympathy for them. And I also bet they are doing everything they can with rest and food and everything. If you look at this, if you look at them play, it's not like, oh, this guy is breathing heavier, or he's got his hands on his knees more often, or he's playing more minutes. It's not like that. It's in the way that they play. It's less forward thinking. Like I feel like for the past month, we've just seen Kanate, Robertson pass the ball, and Virgil just pass the ball back and forth. Like that diagonal that Virgil used to put to Salah 3-4 times a game, you might see it once or twice.
I agree with that.
Robertson wants to get forward, and now that Trent's back, he wants to get forward as well. I also think we lost some of the spark going forward when Gomez stopped playing on a regular basis.
Couldn't agree more.
Because he'll push it forward. But I think just in general, everybody's playing at like 90% instead of 100. And that affects the chemistry of the whole flow of the game. And that's why it looks different.
What's your take on this, Steve, that our forwards lost us the league? And I can actually get behind this more than the fatigue and, injuries. I can look at the conversion rate and objectively say our forwards have not been as clinical as they needed to be. Salah's had a great year. Statistically, you look at what Nunez has produced. What is he at now? 11-8. That's still okay for me. Diaz got to be better. Across the front line, I don't know. We may have just over 30 goals in all competitions, which is still a good number, right?
We have more than that.
Is it?
Way more than that.
I'm talking about star start. If you look at Nunez, Diaz, and Salah alone, not the other ones.
Don't they all have 10? Didn't they all have 10 at least like 4 months ago? Maybe not Diaz.
Nunez has 11. I'm just going
You
to look
said
up.
all comps.
Yeah.
He's got more than 11.
Liverpool player stats. I don't think so, bro.
Yeah, it's the forwards. It's the forwards, and here's why. We've only conceded 36 goals. We concede first in every match, but it's 36 goals on the whole damn year.
16 of our Premier League matches we've conceded first. That's the most since 2005 under Rafa Benitez, bro.
We have City have conceded 3 less goals than we have.
Okay.
So statistically, our defense has been okay.
Okay.
Pretty darn good.
Just to read this out, in the Premier League, Luis Diaz has 8 goals, Salah 17, Nunez 11, like I said. So that's 8, 17, and 11. So was that 36 goals? 36 goals across those 3. And then if Jota has
Diaz
10,
has 8.
Diaz has 8 in the Premier League, 5 assists.
No, it's actually not that bad.
I mean, it's not. It really isn't terrible, but I just expected him to have more. Diogo Jota, though, he's missed 3.5, 4 months, and he has 10 goals. All right. To me,
yeah, but this is in the league. You said all comps. There's a lot of goals that these guys have scored.
I understand. Let's do all competitions then. Okay, we'll do all competitions. All right. All competitions. Diaz has 13 goals. Darwin Nunez has 18. That's actually incredible. Mo Salah 24. Guess how many goals Gakpo has?
14.
Damn, you're smart. 14 exactly.
I guessed.
Szoboszlai has 7. So look, actually, and Jota, oh my God, Jota has 15.
They've scored, dude. They've all scored.
You're right. You're right. But I want to see conversion rate here. Hold on. Expected goals, 12.5. Darwin Nunez, his expected goals is 22. He has 18. He is the only player on the team that has an expected goals higher than actual goals. Everyone else has more goals than expected goals. Every single player. Diogo Jota has double his expected goals. All right. Mohamed Salah, 24 goals in all comps, expected goals 23. Luis Diaz, lowest conversion rate on the team, 13 goals, expected goals 12.5. All right. Darwin, 18, 22 expected goals. To me, just all he needs to be is that 1% better, bro. He just needs to be that 1% better. And maybe we win the league. Yeah, if he converts those chances.
It's not about their overall stats. They all have good stats. It's about the missed chances, the big misses in important moments. Like if you look at Darwin Nunez, let's just say you live under a rock and you come out and you look at Darwin Nunez stats, you're like, he's probably a top 15 striker in Europe. Like his numbers are there, and he facilitates. He's got 8 assists in the Premier League alone.
I think he's got 13 assists total. I mean, he statistically, the numbers are there. They are 18 and 13. That's great. And Ethan, just to touch on this is speculation. I haven't seen anything on this. We have been, linked with him before, but De Jong wants to play at Barcelona. Unless monetarily they can't meet it for financial fair play regulations, he's staying. What are you going to have? Romeu, Southampton's exile, cover him? No, De Jong's staying. With the season's strange results, Liverpool have won 28 points from losing positions in the league, which is a division high. But again, how many points do you think we could have had if we didn't go down early? We got 28 points from losing positions, but imagine if we didn't go down early.
Yeah, definitely could have gotten more.
Right.
Obviously. But for me, it's still, and I don't even want to talk about this, but it's the big decisions that changed everything. It's the Tottenham decision, the Arsenal decision, the City Doku decision.
It's unreal.
And the Nicholas Jackson, which I think was on match day 1, handball. That one doesn't get talked about a lot, but that was way back.
It was a handball. Biggest one for me, no doubt, Luis Diaz, awful. I just actually watched it the other day, the VAR track from it, and it was just simply down to them just not communicating well. That's all it was. And they didn't stop the match. They realized what they did wrong. But then Doku, not as much. The Doku one, I can see why it wasn't given, but still it should have been. And the handball, the Arsenal handball, dude. Unforgivable, personally. But guys, again, I appreciate everyone's support. Again, all of our channel members, you keep this channel going. Thank you very much. And everyone else who tunes in on Sundays, you guys rock. Make sure you like the stream if you enjoyed it. Steve, what's your starting 11 prediction for the match today?
Dude, I have no idea.
Why don't you just predict it?
I think I'm going to pass on this one.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doesn't matter who starts. Nothing to play for.
Do you have a score prediction?
2-2 draw.
I feel like this game screams draw. I really do. It's one of those.
If Virgil's
games.
not playing, I mean, someone let us know. Is Virgil playing? If he's not, I'm going 2-2 draw.
I really don't think he's playing. But again, it's Virgil. He could just look at Klopp and be like, I don't care if I haven't trained, I'm playing. And Klopp would be like, okay, that's fine. But personally, I don't think he's playing. I think we'll look at Konate and Kwanzaa at the back line. Liz says 3-1 to Liverpool. Yes, starting 11. I think Konate and Kwanzaa start. Part of me wants to start Gomez, but Robbo and Trent, Allison. Midfield, I think I predicted Soboslai, Endo, and McAllister. It's probably going to be Curtis Jones, though. Would you agree?
Sure. Dude, I'm just disconnected from the lineup and who's playing. I don't care. Like, play with some heart. Put people in there that are going to play for the badge. That's all that matters. That's all you're playing for now. Is pride and Klopp. And again, the fact that I even have to say that is only because we have nothing to play for, and it's because of the end of the year and Jurgen Klopp is leaving. You should be playing for those things regardless.
Yeah.
But that is literally all we have to play for right now. Nobody's playing for their future. Nobody's nailed on to get sold or for like a major contract extension, really. Like, we know kind of where everybody stands. There's just not much left to play for except for the standard, the badge, the supporters, Klopp, pride, the usual suspects.
You play for the badge. Yeah, you don't have anything else to play for, but you go out there and you play for the club that's paying you.
Yeah.
Go do your
job. But that's it. There's no more success that can be had.
Stellar's not even starting Salah. What's going on? Salah, everything's fine, apparently, according to Klopp.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone in the summer. And if we can get 150 million for him, I say we just do it.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen reports this week, actually, that we're trying to extend his contract or at least give him updated terms.
I'd be happy with that. I would like to extend him too, but I just wouldn't be surprised if he got sold.
Maybe move on to we're just losing a lot of production.
I don't think he wants to go to Saudi. He's still playing at a top level. He hasn't been great lately, but he's still playing at a top level in the best league in the world.
Yeah, and
he wants to play in the Champions League. He doesn't care as much about money, I don't think, as some of the guys that went there or had no other choice but to go there. Salah could go anywhere. Salah could literally go to any team in Europe.
He could. He could. I could see him going back to Roma or something like that. I could see him making a move like that.
I couldn't. I could see only
like PSG or something.
No, because I don't think that league is enough for him. I think it's Saudi to call it quits or just staying at Liverpool. I think he'll stick around for a while.
Yeah. He's a level-headed guy. He'll make the right decision. But guys, we are back on YouTube for the watch-alongs. All right, I'm pumped. And Kevin, the Tottenham fan, if you guys have been with the channel for a while, Kevin's going to come over and do the watch-along with me. So make sure you tune into that. No longer on TIFO, back on YouTube. And, of course, we'll be doing the post-match reaction as well. Steve, closing thoughts?
I hope we win. I'm ready to get these last 3 games over with. If I'm being honest, it's time to move on.
I'm excited. Ross said it earlier. I'm more excited for this upcoming season than I've been in a while. I'm kind
I'm
of
not
just like,
there yet.
I'm deflated from how we performed and closed out the year, but that leads me to more excitement into next season, personally.
Right.
So, all right, guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll be here next Sunday, guys. Actually, no, we won't be here next Sunday.
We will not. Next Sunday,
Not be
we
here
are
next
off.
Sunday. We are off next Sunday. So appreciate everyone who was here today. We'll see you on the watch along, Reds. Until next time, take care.